Hi everyone, this is Scott Davis. If you're watching this video, you are in my Bio 139 class for spring 2024. I am very excited to work with you all. This is a really fun class. It's actually my favorite class to teach. If you've recently come out of Bio 137, it's really just a continuation of that class, but fair warning, this class is typically much more challenging than Bio 137, so go into this prepared to invest a lot of time in this class. It's, like I said, a very fun class, but it is going to require a lot of work on your part. Now, that said, I will make everything available to you that you need to do well. It's just up to you to invest the time and ask questions when you need them. So most students that take me for Bio 139 had me previously for Bio 137. Every now and then I will get some students who did not, but I want to make sure that everyone is comfortable in the class. So the point of this video is to walk you through our Blackboard course. I'm going to show you how to find our course, how to navigate our course, and just some general information about the class. But after watching this video and after reading through all of our introductory material, please reach out with any questions that you have. And again, I make that very easy. If you had me for Bio 137, you know that you can text me anytime you have a question and I will get right back to you. I will show our newer folks how to find that information. But first, let's find out how to get to our class. Now, the easiest way to get to our class is through MyPath, which you see on the screen right here. And as a matter of fact, all of my lectures this semester are online. So anytime that you're going to take a quiz or take an exam, you have to get to it through MyPath. So let's just show you what MyPath is and make sure everyone is comfortable navigating this way. You have to get to our class this way, otherwise the exams and quizzes will not recognize you. So to get to this page that you see right here, if you're not familiar with it, you will go to mypath.kctcs.edu. mypath.kctcs.edu. And that will bring you to this page. Now you see up here there's a different address in the bar, kctcs.sharepoint.com/sites/mypath. Now, whichever way you enter it, it's going to direct you to this page. I typed in mypath.kctcs.edu, and when I hit enter, it redirects me to this page. Personally, I just think that's easier to remember. So you get to MyPath, and this is the landing point for all things BCTC. And yours will look a little bit different than mine because I've got some instructor resources, but you will see a Blackboard Learn tab here. And that's what you're going to click to get to our class. Do not go directly to Blackboard up here in the search bar, or our quizzes and exams will not recognize you. So go to MyPath, click Blackboard. And that will bring you to the Blackboard homepage. Over here on the left, you'll click Courses, and that will bring up a list of all of the courses that you have this semester and some of your previous courses. I'm going to click into 1701. All of my classes are laid out the same, so if you are in a different section, it's still going to look the same to you. Now, when you get to our page, I'm going to show you what it looks like to you because it won't look like this. It will look like this, and it's pretty empty. Up at the top, Student Quick Introduction to Blackboard. As long as you have had a Blackboard course before, then this information is not anything new. But if you're visiting from another institution that doesn't use Blackboard, this can help you. Respond as proctoring information. This should be the first place that you go. And again, if you've had me before, you're used to this. It's the same thing that was in Bio 137 with me. You're going to click that to open, and there's a lot of information here. Why can't I see anything in the class? Like I said, it's empty when you get here. So this explains you have to take this little quiz before you can access the rest of the class. What is Respondus and how do I install it? Respondus is our proctoring program. All of our quizzes and exams are closed book, closed note, closed everything. So this is just to make sure that everyone is staying fair and honest. How do you install it? Well, when you click the Respondus quiz for the first time, it's going to prompt you to install it. So that's how it's going to take care of itself, but there's some information here that tells about it. What if I have a Chromebook? Well, it installs a little bit differently. So if you have a Chromebook, click here and it will tell you about it. Respondus is not letting me take my quiz or exam. Sometimes Respondus can be a little picky and it will tell you some pop-up window thing and it won't open. Click this and it will tell you what you need to do to make it work. Anytime you click a quiz or exam and you don't see that quiz or exam pop up, your first thing should be to go here. And 99% of the time, the reason is because you're not using the correct browser. You always want to use Firefox. Anytime a student sends me a picture of my screen's not working, it's not loading, it's because they're not using Firefox. Always use Firefox unless you are on a Chromebook. Next, the other thing it's not letting you take your quiz and exam is because you did not go to MyPath first. You have to go to MyPath and click Blackboard. If you don't, it's not going to recognize you. What if I'm not able to get Respondus to work? I've got some snarky stuff here basically saying you have to get it to work. There's no other alternative to taking exams in the class, so you have to get it to work, and I will work with you to get it to work. How to perform an environment scan. Prior to every quiz and every exam, you have to perform an environment scan showing me that you don't have all of your notes and your book sitting there open. I do a little video demonstration of what you have to do, and if you don't do this, you get a 0 for that quiz or exam. So make sure to watch this video. And here's the practice quiz. This is just 5 short questions and it tells you the answers that you have to type in. Once you do that, it will open the rest of the class and then it will look like this to you. So this is where our class actually is. There's going to be a Start Here module. And inside that Start Here module is all of the non-class related stuff that you have to take care of before you actually start classwork. Videos to watch before starting classwork. The video I'm recording right now will be here, but it will also be emailed to you. There's also a watch this short video before the first day of class. Make sure you watch that. And by the way, it has absolutely nothing to do with anatomy and physiology. Pre-course assessment. This is something new that was not in Bio 137. It is in Bio 139. This is going to ask you some questions. It won't take more than maybe 20 minutes to do. And it's not for any points. This is just to make sure that everyone has kind of retained important information for Bio 137. So make sure you do this before progressing. Course expectations and weekly requirements. This is just to give you an idea of what to expect from this course. Like I said, it is significantly more challenging than Bio 137, and this will be kind of a what to expect. What am I in for in this class? Course overview. This just tells you a little bit about the class and approximately what we will cover in what order. Course instructor. Okay, for those of you who have not had me, I'm Scott Davis. I really do prefer Scott. Please feel free and encouraged to call me Scott. If you are not comfortable calling an instructor by their first name, you can call me Mr. Davis, Professor, Instructor, whatever you want to call me, something like that. But really, I encourage you to feel comfortable calling me Scott. Now, if you want to get in touch with me, the best way to get in touch with me is to text me. And yes, I make my personal cell phone available to you. Not to call, because if you call, I'm not going to answer most likely. I do not answer my phone unless there is some sort of emergency from someone that I know. But if you text me, unless I am asleep or in the shower or at dinner or something like that, if you text me, I will get right back to you. Usually within minutes, sometimes within seconds. Email is the next best way to contact me. It's a little bit slower because it doesn't notify me always when I get an email. My office location, my official office is at Newtown campus in room 205J of the Science Building. But I am also going to be on campus at Danville, so that I will be there a little bit before and a little bit after lab each semester, or I'm sorry, each week. My office phone number, this is the worst way to reach me because I am hardly ever in my office. So don't really use that number. 2 ways to contact me, so that's what I just went over. My office hours, Tuesdays from 10 to 12 at Danville campus. Thursdays 9:15 to 10:15 at Danville campus. Wednesdays online virtually from 2 to 4, but like I said, I'm always available. So if you need something different, text me. We'll set up a meeting time. Now, all that's how to contact me. Let me show you the worst way to contact me. Up here at the top of Blackboard, there's something that says messages. Do not use messages. I do not know when you message me. Even when you click the email, the instructor or whatever on messages, it does not notify me. So if you use this, you're not going to get a response probably for weeks. So just ignore this. Pretend it doesn't even exist. If I can find a way to get rid of that tab, I'm going to. So don't use that. Syllabus and lecture course schedule. Okay, here is the syllabus for our course. I'm not going to read this to you. You can read it. It's long and boring, but make sure you do read it. There are some very important things there. Required technology for an online course. All of my lectures are online, so this pertains to all of you. I'm also doing some labs online. If you are in an online lab, this also pertains to you. If you're in an in-person lab, then we're considered a hybrid and we will see each other face-to-face each week. Lecture class policies and expectations. Read through these. They are very important. Lecture course requirements, what we're going to do in this course. Now, we have completely revamped Bio 137 and Bio 139 this semester. It is completely different from anything that we have done in the past. So while I will still present my class the same for those of you who had me before, you don't have to worry about that changing. The graded materials are changing, and this is in an effort to better your grade. We want to make sure that you are getting the best education and the best grades possible. So there's going to be a little bit more to do grade-wise, but ultimately that's going to help you, not hurt you. There will be a mastering assignment for each chapter. It's going to be worth 10 points, and there may be some bonus questions in there. We haven't quite built those yet, so I'm not sure, but it will be worth 10 points, not 20 like it was in Bio 137, if you had me. Mid-block quizzes. Each unit, each block, is going to have a quiz now about a week or two into it. This is also going to be worth 10 points. It's going to be treated like a little small exam, so you can't use notes or anything. This is to check your understanding so far. This is making sure that everyone is keeping up. So instead of one big chapter assignment, we're going to have a smaller chapter assignment and a small chapter quiz. Exams, now there are 5 lecture exams, one for each block or unit. So instead of 4, now there are 5. They're all worth 100 points. there is a cumulative final exam. Instead of being worth 200 points, now it's worth 100 points. And to really entice students, to really help them, let's say you take an exam and you bomb it. Well, we're more concerned with, do you learn from that? Do you then teach yourself or get me to help you understand the information that you didn't do so well on the first time? If so, we take your grade from the final exam and replace the grade from your poor exam. So if you do poorly on a single exam, don't worry. Do better on the final and we will replace that grade. Late work policy, as always, there is no late work policy, so don't miss any assignments. Quizzes, there's a little bit of twist to that, so be sure to read this to see how quiz makeups go. How do we calculate your grade? Look over that. Withdrawal policy, March 6th is midterm. You can withdraw up to March 6th. After March 6th, so from the 7th until April 7th, you can withdraw with my permission. To get my permission, no assignments, exams, or labs are missing. Here is our calendar. Tells you what chapter is going to go through. The quiz, prior to each quiz, I will give you a little bit of information about that. And then each exam is going to be over everything that we have covered so far. So exam 1 will be at the end of block 1, and it will cover all of block 1. Exam 2, it will focus on block 2, but it will also cover older material. Exam 3 will focus on block 3, but it will also cover older material. So you should always be going back and reviewing. Here is our mastering chapter assignment list, the dates that they are due. They are not all available from the first day because I'm still building them. They're going to be significantly smaller than Bio 137 mastering assignments were if you'd had me. So don't worry about that. I've also tacked our lab schedule on here, but we will see that in just a moment on the lab syllabus. This is the order of the chapters we go through in each block. Here is our lab information that, again, we'll get to in a moment. Grading and feedback policy. Here is what to expect for if you have me in an online lecture with in-person lab. If you have me online lecture, online lab, your labs will look a little bit different. We grade them a little bit differently because we have to cover a little bit of different material. Day 1 checklist. This says Bio 137, but I'm going to change that now to Bio 139. So this is what you should do before the first day of class. Familiarize yourself with the Blackboard course layout. We're doing that now. Chapter 16 is where we're starting, the endocrine system. Read it. Don't worry if you understand it, but at least read it before you start with lectures. Print out the outline and fill out the outline as you read as much as possible. I also make the PowerPoint available to you if you want to print it out. The chapter outlines, you'll want to print them out, fill them out. They're not for a grade, just like if you had me for 137. They are your study tool. Those are your exam guides. So as you print it out, as you're reading, fill it out. Then when you're watching the lecture, fill it out the rest of the way. Chapter 16, I have it filled out for you most of the way. All of the other ones will not be that way, but that one is filled out most of the way for you. Print out your syllabi, complete your syllabus acknowledgement form, fill that out, sign it, print your lab syllabus out. labs 1 through 3 printed out. These are the labs that are covered through Lab Practical 1. Videos from Blackboard start here. Make sure you watch that. You're watching one of them right now. And be ready for an awesome semester of anatomy and physiology. Like I said, it's a really fun class if you don't let it overwhelm you. Netiquette, read through this. Quiz and exam rules. Prior to every quiz and every exam, read these. Even when we're taking the last one of the semester, read it. Even if you can memorize it, read it prior to every quiz and every exam. Because if you have some sort of technical difficulty and you have not followed the steps here, I can't help you. Read this so that you know what to do if you have some sort of technical difficulty. Accommodations and tutoring service information here. Blackboard app to put on your phone or tablet. I recommend not doing that because you can't take quizzes and exams on your phone or tablet. Academic resources, additional to what I've already mentioned. Technology assistant and free Microsoft Office. Introduction to Mastering A&P. If you have already done classes with Mastering A&P, it's not really going to be all that helpful to you. It's just a little mini assignment worth no points to teach you how Mastering A&P works. If you have never used Mastering A&P or if you need a refresher, go ahead and go through that assignment. But like I said, it's not for any points. Block 1. So everything in here is everything prior to our first exam. Go through this. There will be more blocks as we go, but this is everything through lecture exam 1. This is an overview of this chapter. Tells you what we're doing each week. Lecture content. This is where you'll find the course outline to fill out. This is where you'll find the PowerPoint. This is where you'll find the links to the videos. I've got the videos for the first week of class loaded already. The others will open as we go. Discussion. I do not use the discussion board. I do not assign it. I do not monitor it, except just to make sure everyone's being cordial with each other. If you like to discuss or form study groups or whatever with your classmates, you can use the discussion board. Wrap up. Okay, this is where you will find the lecture exam when it is active. But you will also find a practice assignment for block 1. Not for any points, just to practice. And bonus assignment for block 1. Bonus assignment. You will, either open this and type on it or download it and write and take a photograph. However you do it, answer these questions and upload it before the due date, and it can get you up to a couple of points added to your Unit 1 or your Block 1 lecture exam. There will be one of those for every block that we do. Lab. Here's everything for the lab portion of the course. Now, so far, everything is the same whether you have me in person or online. This will look different if you have me for an in-person lab or an online lab. This is for an in-person lab. This is where you'll find the lab syllabus, which is pretty short. It doesn't have all the same stuff because it's going to just say it's the same as the lecture except for, and then it gives you a little bit of lab information. So read that. It tells you what we're going to be doing. Also tells you if you have me for an in-person lab, there's some lab quizzes. If you have me for an online lab, it's going to tell you what activities you have to do online. On-campus lab manual or in-person lab manual, you will want to either print that out or save it to your tablet so that if it's an in-person lab, there is going to be some stuff graded that you will have to show me. So I recommend printing this out, but it's a pretty significant document, so be ready for that. Tutoring information will be found here. Mastering A&P student links will be found here, but I will also, when we have chapter Mastering A&P assignments, they will be up here in the lecture content. So that is everything for our course. Make sure to reach out early if you have any questions. If you're asking something that is in the syllabus or that I went over in this video, I might, it's not me being mean, it's me just saying, be sure to check the syllabus or be sure that you have watched this video or something like that. But if you have a question, ask the question. I always tell my students, the only stupid question is the one that you have that you do not ask. So please ask those questions. And other than that, I will talk to you in our first lecture.